think well, that's my opinion. I think we pull it off pretty good. It's a little hard sometimes starting this year. I think we started off with 56 ideas for 21 classes. So it's not a real easy thing to do. All of our classes, after we have them, are posted to the website. Tonight's class will be posted to the website within 24 hours. So if there's something you want to hear a second time, you can go online and hear it. You can tell people about it and have them go online and listen to it as well. I want to thank all of you that have been giving so generously with your donations. Empower You does operate. We're operate on just donations. So without you, we couldn't do what we do. We couldn't bring in the people that we do. So thank you very much. If you're new to Empower You and you would like to donate and don't know how to do that, when you register for a class, there's a donate button on the registration page. There's a donate button on our website. If you're more comfortable sending a check, you can find our physical address on the website as well. And of course, if you come to the studio, we always pass our red buckets around if you'd like to put something in that way. We, tonight, if you have a question for our speaker, and I forgot to ask Rick, do you want to take questions during your presentation or you want to wait till the end? Okay. So when he's finished, he will take questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand, wait for one of us to bring the microphone to you. If you don't speak into a microphone, the people behind you can't hear what you're saying and the people online can't hear you either. If you're online and you have a question, just drop down to the bottom of your page to the Q&A button and put your question in there and we'll try to get to it. This Thursday, April 7th, we are going to the Board of Elections to tour it, to kind of see how an election takes place from the beginning to the end. That class is limited to 50 people. Earlier today, when I looked at it, there was 44 signed up. So there's only 6 places still that you can, that we can fill. That class also starts a half an hour earlier. So it's at 6:30 and not 7. So if you're signed up, don't forget that. Next Tuesday, April 12th, is going to be Annie's story. Annie Cyrus is a young woman who grew up in Iran. She grew up after she was born after the revolution. So she didn't know what life was like before the revolution, but her grandmother was always telling her, Annie, things haven't always been this way. Her dad sold her at the age of 13 to an older man. At the age of 15, her grandmother was able to smuggle her out of Iran. She eventually ended up in the US, I think around 2003. She's an activist here in the United States. She's really big on women's rights because she knows that in Iran, the women there don't have rights. She also knows that here in the States, the women that have come here from the Middle East, many of them don't have rights either because they're living under Sharia law with their husbands. So it's going to be a great class. I hope you'll come. She's also very well versed on what the current events in Iran. I'm sure she's going to talk about that as well. Thursday is accountability for our military and political leadership. Stuart Scheller, who was a lieutenant colonel in the Marines back, I forget what month that was, September or October, he posted a video on Facebook and LinkedIn asking for accountability from the military leaders as well as the political leaders on the withdrawal from Afghan. I hope you'll come to that class. I know probably most of you, he's been on a lot of news programs. He's been on a lot of radio programs. I know some of you have heard him, maybe not all of you have, but come with an open mind. I do know that there are some military people that just can't condone what he did, but I kind of look at it in a different way, as I don't think our political leaders are like the political leaders of World War II. And I kind of feel like if somebody in the military doesn't blow the whistle, how would we as citizens out here really know what's going on? So he's going to be here telling about that. He'll tell about, who he was before he went into service. And now that he's out of the service, he was discharged. So he'll tell you what he's doing now. Now I'm going to ask Dan Reginald, our managing board member, to come up and take over.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, we're going to do the giveaway between speakers. Thank you, Jay. Let's give our producer Jay a hand for rescuing me. And how about a hand for Betty Overstreet, our great executive director, and Bill Roll, our treasurer. And I think I saw Ken Bowman here and also John O'Neill. We appreciate all your help. Thank you very much. And I was saying before I turn my mic on, everybody, we've got over 200 people signed up tonight. We're just so glad you could join us for this class. A couple of things I wanted to go over with you. We have a class on April 19th, Vivek Ramaswamy, who will be joining us. I got an email from him today where he told me what he was going to be talking about. And I'll let you know, so hopefully you can sign up. It's going to be an important class. He's one of the great thinkers, really, that's in the United States right now. And what he'll be talking about on April 19th is he'll be focusing on the cartel of the top 3 largest asset managers in the world, BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, who push a one-sided political agenda. This cartel uses not their own money, but the money of retirees, pensioners, the American people at large to advance their goals in a way that betrays the fiduciary duty to their clients. I think that's going to be a super interesting class on April 19th. I hope to see many of you here that night. So the mission of Empower You, just to kind of go over that for those of you who are new and haven't been here, is just to teach free classes to help get you more empowered in your life. What more important topic than the one we're going to talk about tonight? We're so glad to have Rick Gibbs here. I've got 2 required readings I've got for you tonight, and I've got a few fun things we're going to do tonight, so stick with us. And I just couldn't help myself when I saw this other article. So the 2 articles I'm going to pass out, they're also available online. These articles, the hard copies, will be available to you on your way out the door. The first one is an amazing story of what happens when a woke university tells a business in their community that they're racist. I don't know how many of you have heard about Otterbein, it's Oberlin College and the bakery that they decided to say was a racist business. And Oberlin College was sued for an incredible sum of money, and they just finally lost on appeal. This is a great article about that. Make sure to read that if you don't know the case, because it's really important. The other article, this kind of blew me away today. Did any of you come to the class we had on SEL with Kirsten Hill? She jotted me a note this morning and told me that there was a new bill submitted on the floor of the House of Representatives in Ohio. It was Ohio's version, I hate to use this term, of the Don't Say Gay bill. And it's a simple bill. It's proposed by Gene Schmidt, who's had, I think I'll say, a colorful career. And also somebody who I didn't know. His name is Mike Loychik. He's from a place called Becerra, Ohio. Anybody know where that's at? But it's a simple bill. I've got a link on empoweryouamerica.org to the legislation. I really encourage you to read pages 2 and 3. It's just simple. It says you can't discuss sexual orientation or gender to any child before the 4th grade. And it goes further, and it brings in critical race theory, and it says you can't discuss divisive topics with kids in school. So it replaces a bill we've been talking about for 6 months in the Ohio House and Senate. It covers critical race theory and the sexual exploitation of our children. So I think it's really important. I think it's important that you know about it. That's the second pass out you can grab on your way out the door tonight. Other things, we don't have anything else. Let's go ahead and get on to our program. We've got first tonight somebody who has been, I've had the pleasure of working with Leigh Ann Cartier. Leigh Ann grew up in Cincinnati and graduated from Wilmington College. She has a passion for gardening and has had her hands in the dirt since the day she was young. She is always trying new things in the garden and exploring new techniques for gardening. And Leigh Ann's going to talk to us a little bit about gardening tonight. And I think it goes right along with our topic, and it also puts some pressure on me to come up with some stuff for my house. So Leigh Ann, thanks for stepping up and helping us tonight, and you're on.
Can you hear me all right? Yeah, my name is Leigh Ann Cartier, and I've been gardening for a while, and I just want to share my experiences and what I've learned with all of you. So I just want to share that you have options when you're shopping for what to plant in your garden. There's so many more varieties than what may be like mainstream. So you've got options for your living space and what other type of way you're growing. So if you want to look at a specific variety, or if you're looking at a seed packet, some things you want to look at closely are the days to maturity. That's how the days to maturity is like when the seed starts to when you get to pick that fruit to maturity. And that's going to give you some plants are sooner and some plants are later. And you also want to look at the growing habits. Sometimes they say they're a bush type. Sometimes they say they're a vining type. That's going to come into effect with how they grow. You also want to look at the flavor. Maybe that's the difference between another red pepper and that red pepper is maybe one's more sweeter and of course one's more hotter. And then you also want to look at the spacing. Some bush types might take up more space. Some might be more compact. There's some wording that you want to look at. So let's start off with beans. I kind of went alphabetical here. I got a picture of, it's a yard-long noodle bean, and that's the flower for it. Two different types of beans that there are bush beans and pole beans. Pole beans are ones that like to go up trellis, so they spin really tightly. And that's good if you're focusing on compacting space, you can grow vertically. And bush beans are good if you don't really have much vertical space. They stay close to the ground and still produce a lot of food. Different colors of beans. There's yellow, purple, green, and striped beans. And there's even different kinds of beans within that topic. We've got your classic green beans, yard-long beans, which are really long, dried beans, cowpeas, and chickpeas. And for this one, you want to direct sow it. You don't really want to do a transplant because they don't like their roots disturbed and they grow really fast when they start. So you want to direct seed these wherever you're going to start them out. The next one we have is beets. So this is kind of like a controversial topic. Some people love them, some people hate them, but they have a lot of great uses. They come in red, classic red, striped, yellow, or white. And these habits, they can come in the classical round shape, which people are used to, or a cylindrical shape. And the cylindrical ones are good for saving on space because they go deeper than the classic round one. And both the roots and leaves are edible. They're actually a relative to Swiss chard. You notice that those leaves are the same, so you can cook the beet leaves just as you would Swiss chard or a baby green or something like that. And with these, you can direct sow right where you start, or there's another sowing method called multi-sow, where you're going to do like 2 or 3 seeds in one cell, and then do that, and then the 3 would push each other out so they'd have enough space, and then give it a little bit more space in between those cells. But otherwise, you don't really want to transplant root crops because you don't want to affect the root while it's being transplanted. Next we have is carrots. This is a fun one. You definitely want to direct sow these because they got really small seed and these are tap root. So you don't want to mess with the roots at all. And there's all different types of flavor of carrots. So you want to look at that when you're choosing a variety. And there's also storage carrots. Some carrots store longer than others if you want to store them over the winter. And we've got many different colors. We've got white, yellow, orange, red, and purple. So you can get a rainbow of colors. It's really fun. Some things you want to watch out with the purple ones. There's a few varieties like cosmic purple or dragon carrot, it's also called. And that's where just the skin is purple and the inside is orange. But we also have carrots that are purple on the outside and purple on the inside. And those are very healthy for you. And we've got different shapes. So if you're growing in a really shallow container, or more clay soil, you can get these little round carrots, and they're really cute. They don't grow very big, but they're good for like small, very small spaces. And another good one for clay soil, a really, really heavy soil. There's these short and stubby carrots they don't get very deep, but they get really wide, and they like plow through that clay soil. And that's why I grew over here. If you look at the picture on the right, and most people don't know how carrots produce seed. So I thought this was a fun one. Carrots are biennial, so they would produce flowers in their second year. So in this first picture, we have the beginning start of carrot flower, and the middle one is it all bloomed out, and then we've got early pollinators coming to it. Carrot is also a relative to Queen Anne's lace, so you might notice it looks like that too. Next, we have cole crops. So this is going to be like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kohlrabi. And this is a fun one. For these, it's a good idea to transplant because they take a long time and they like the cool weather. So you only have a short growing period for them. And then most people don't know, if you have broccoli, it's actually a small, tight, bound up flower. And if you actually miss the harvesting window for a regular broccoli and let it go to flower, the picture on the left is actually a pollinated broccoli plant. It produces these little pods, and the little pods are edible. And we've got like radishes and other like cool weather crops. They produce these pods and they taste exactly like the plant you would regularly harvest. So that's another bonus for you. And then the picture on the right is actually a Brussels sprout that produced a flower stalk. So I thought that was a fun one for you. Next, we have corn. This is a very large kind of crop to grow. You got many options here. You got many different sweetness levels. If you grow sweet corn, so you want to look at how sweet it is. There's some super sweet. There's some just on a regular sweet level. But we've got different types of corn you can grow. We've got sweet corn. This is going to be sooner days to maturity. And then you have kind of ornamental, field corn, and popcorn. And they're going to take longer because they're going to dry out on the stalk. And for these, you really want to direct sow these wherever you're going to plant. You don't want to transplant them too much. They don't like their roots being disturbed. Then we have cucumbers. And we've got two different types of growing habits. We have bush, which is good for like a container or a small space. And we have vining, which likes to grow up a trellis or something like that, or else on the ground if you have the space. And you can transplant these or direct sow, but it's kind of better to direct sow these. You also have pickling and slicing cucumbers. And the differences between these is pickling has less water content, so these hold up in canning better if you're going to can for like pickles or something like that. And slicing has a higher water content, so that'd be good for like more like salads and stuff like that. And I kind of lumped a whole bunch of other stuff together with greens. We got lettuce, bok choy, kale, collards, mustard, Swiss chard, and spinach. Lettuce is a good one for small spaces and containers. Picture on the left is very small baby lettuce. I tried growing in a container, and you can grow these as baby greens and just cut and come again. So you get a lot of harvest out of them. And on the right is actually red Russian kale. And I would like to make like kale chips with that. That's fun to do with that. And these are very easy to grow. You can grow them from seed or transplant. But with lettuce, you want to do direct sow. And we got melons and squash. I lumped these two together because they're called cucurbits. So these really do not like their roots being disturbed. But you do sometimes see them as a transplant. So it's just better to direct sow because if you transplant them and they get their roots disturbed, they might just get stunted a little bit and then start growing. So we got cantaloupe, watermelon, honeydew, we've got summer squash and winter squash. Summer squash, it doesn't mean this is growing in the summer and winter squash is growing in the winter. They're both grown in the summer. And summer squash is this very young squash. And winter squash is has reached maturity. So it's got a hard shell that can store for a long time in the winter. So like pumpkins would be winter squash. They stay fresh for a long time with their hard skin. And again, these are good to direct sow. On the left here, I have a picture of a squash flower. It's a pumpkin flower. I thought that's very pretty. It adds some beauty to the garden. And in the middle there, we have a patty pan squash. These are fun shape. It's like a UFO kind of thing. And on the right, we have a gray zucchini. So it's got some spots to it. I thought that was kind of fun. Another option, if you don't have much space outside, so if you can't grow in ground, or maybe you can't even grow in containers, microgreens are a good option if you can grow inside. Get a little grow light, and these are good to harvest in 2 to 4 weeks, just a couple weeks. All you need is the grow light and then the soil medium and water, and you're good to go. Microgreens are the same exact seeds you'd get for outside plants. They're just, you're gonna harvest them super early, as they only have like 1 or 2 true leaves. So they're very young. The idea is seeds have a lot of nutrition just in that seed itself. And so you're getting that nutrition from all that's holding in right when it sprouts. Onions are a fun one. I'm gonna say that a lot. Onions are fun. And we've got 3 different types of onions. We've got long day, short day, and intermediate day. And this is referring to the latitude and longitude of the earth. And people more in the south, they can grow short day, and people in the north grow long day. And this is because onions are, they rely on how much sunlight they get to determine how big the bulb gets. And so if someone in the south grew a long day onion, it just won't bulb up that much. And the intermediate day is more for more people in the middle, but still you're not gonna get a big, large onion bulb. We also have storage onions and sweet onions. So sweet onions are more like your classic yellow that have more sweeter taste. And storage onions are typically red onions because they have a higher sulfur content, and so they can store longer. And then, yeah, you have your red, white, and yellow. And in this picture here, we have homegrown onions. I got them really small, and then homegrown garlic, and then eggplants. And so here we go for peas. There's 3 different types of peas. You got snow peas, which are really young. It's when it's just the pod and there's no pea inside, or very small pea. You got snap pea, where you can eat the pea and the pod itself. And you got the shelling pea, where the pod or the shell is very tough, and you just eat it for the peas inside that are really sweet. We also have bush and vining types of peas. So some need trellises, some don't. And you also have yellow, purple, and green peas. These are great to direct sow because also, like beans, they grow really fast when they're young and starting out. So if you do try to transplant them, they're just gonna go crazy and get all tangled together. And so it's just best to direct sow these. Peppers, these are my favorite to grow. These are great for containers. You got sweet versus spicy. You just wanna watch the Scoville units for the spiciness, how hot it is. You don't wanna get one too spicy. And also these are great to transplant, so you have more growing time because they take a while to grow. You can of course start from seed, but you're just not going to get that harvest as if you start from transplant. And then this picture here is called a red Marconi, a giant Marconi, and I got like 8 inches long, so it was very big. So next we have tomatoes. You got all different types of tomatoes here. You got cherry, which is this classic small like salad. Grape, which is slightly bigger than cherry. Plum, which is in the middle between cherry and paste. And then paste is good for canning, making sauces out of. It doesn't have much of that gel in it, so it's good. That's what makes it good for sauces. There's little, not as much gel and less seeds in it. And then you got the classic slicer and beef steak, which are the good ones for like a tomato sandwich or another salad. They're easier to slice. And on the plant itself, we got determinate and indeterminate style of plants. If you're going for containers, you want to look for more determinate because this is only going to grow to a set amount of size, also called a bush type, and it's all going to fruit at the same time. Indeterminate is going to keep growing, keep flowering, keep growing, keep flowering over and over at the same time. So that's the type, if you're going to have a lot of space to trellis, you want to grow indeterminate. And you have many color options for tomatoes. You have yellow, white, red, pink, green, purple, and blue. You can grow the rainbow again. This is kind of fun. Just get to grow the rainbow. And then this one, in this picture, we grew this in a container. It's called Sean's yellow tomato. And it's a nice classic yellow. And I just want y'all to have fun. Grow something you enjoy, grow something you like to eat. And yeah, have fun with it. Thank you.
What do you guys say? So the Cartier family is going to give away, this is going to be our kind of grand prize tonight. Dave, would you come up and help? And I'll turn this over to you. Leigh Ann will have you choose the number. So get your tickets out.
All right. I originally bought this for Leigh Ann, but she said she'd like somebody else to have it that could use it. She's, got so much anyway, but I saw it was made in the United States and I wanted to support that.
There we
So,
go.
all right. I can't see it.
3073.
3-0, there's the
Here
winner.
we go.
Oh my goodness.
It's heavy.
You are going to go cigars.
Here you go. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for all what you do too.
Thanks, Leigh Ann. Thanks, Leigh Ann. Thanks, Dave. So we've got two other giveaways tonight. Hey, Leigh Ann, could you draw another name for me? So Easter is coming. Always one of my absolute favorite holidays of the year. We're going to give away an Easter plant, number 105. Who's got number 105? Come on up. And you get your choice, yellow or pink. Which way do you want to go? And your name is? Let's give Kim a round of applause. And Kim, we've also got, our next speaker has a CD of some songs that are going to be available at the back table at the end of the night. We're going to give to you. Congratulations. And online, we've got a prize for you too for being here tonight. It's a great Sawyer water bottle filtration system. And this goes to Steve S. Let's give Steve a round of applause, everybody. Congratulations, Steve. So real quick, you're going to be part of the first ever live cancel culture polling right now. Jay, get that poll ready. You've got a little piece of paper, a quick question. Grab your little piece of paper. It's a yes, no, easy question. Here's the question. And you're going to write yes or no on the piece of paper and pass it out to the aisle. Last week, YouTube sent us a message that they were taking off our YouTube class and censoring our video content from the class we did on election integrity that we sponsored with Dr. Douglas Frank on March 10th. Currently, Empower You posts its classes on YouTube and Rumble. Here's the question, your first ever live cancel culture question. And it's yes, no. The question is, should Empower You stop posting its video content and cancel YouTube? You have a yes, be yes if you think we should cancel YouTube and not work with them anymore, not post any more classes, or no if you think we should just flow with the punches and keep putting our videos up there. Online, you've got a survey question. You're going to be part of this too. Answer yes or no, and hopefully at the end of the class, we'll let you know what the decision is because the audience rules. We're so glad to have Rick Gibbs with us tonight from Middletown. He has been fascinated with American history since childhood. He enjoys teaching young and old alike. Rick taught American history at Germantown Christian School and also teaches homeschoolers the importance of the American heritage. What an important thing that is. His presentations on American history bring historical events to life, oftentimes through the attire and period items he includes in his talks. Rick is asked to speak about the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and their signers. He's also known as an accomplished singer. Everybody welcome Rick Gibbs. Rick, we're so glad you're here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Can you all hear me? The seed thing was really great. Yeah, it was. Where's she at? There you is. Anyway,
Leigh Ann.
I pushed that. Somebody asked me, what's more important, gold, silver, and bullets? And I said, seeds. So thank you for your lesson tonight. It was great. Appreciate it. I got so much to talk about. Hope I can get it all in. Talking about the woke thing going on. My granddaughter, who is, she just turned 15, but she was in school and they had a competition of woke for or against. She was on the conservative side and there was 18 against 8. So the other side went and they called him silly, called him goofy and all that stuff. And when the teacher got done, she said, Kennedy. I don't know why they didn't name her Reagan, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. But they get, Kennedy, it's your turn. Well, Kennedy gets up and says, are you all that stupid to believe that? And the teacher's like, you know, about had a heart. You can't say that. She goes, teach. That's the problem. They get to say what they want. They can call us whatever they want. You didn't say one word. And see, according to the Constitution, First Amendment, I got the right to say what I want. They don't have to like it. But guess what? They can say what they want. I don't have to like it. Well, the teacher said, well, you can't call them stupid. She goes, well, they are. So anyway, they got into it and she ended up calling the teacher a jelly-filled donut and got sent to the office. So I was very proud of her. Anyway, yeah. I want to thank Dan. I want to thank Bill for allowing me to come and Brian Thomas. So who heard it on radio this morning? Really? Wow. Thank you. That sort of freaked me out because I'm not used to that. But anyway, I want to thank you. Did you all know that Bill Rowe's dad was at Pearl Harbor? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, he was. He was on the USS Curtis. He was there at Pearl Harbor when that happened. So I had to bring that up, Bill. I love stories like that. Being a history guy, you know. Okay. Does everybody get a handout? No? If you did not, there's some in the back. Is that correct? Stuff that everybody will get. It's survival items you may have. People say, what do I get? Well, this is a big list of things. And again, I just sort of came up with this and it covers a little bit of everything. I've got some rules that I always go by. Rule number 1, I'd rather have it and not need it and not have it. Rule number 2, 1 is none, 2 is 1, 3 is 2. What do you mean by that? If you got one flashlight and you lose that flashlight and you don't have a backup, you see what I'm saying? So have 2, have 3 of everything. Y'all know the rule of 3, the 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter or fire, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Now, me, the 3 weeks without food, I can't go a week without eating Skyline. So I would have big trouble with that, right? What's that? Yeah. And when you buy food, buy what you like. You know, I mean, I'd rather eat green beans than yams. So I don't buy no yams, I'll buy green beans or something like that. So, you know, the book of Proverbs, it tells us that a man that is sees danger coming, a prudent man sees danger coming, and he prepares for it. What would have happened if Joseph, you read the book in the Bible, Joseph had for 7 years collected all that food? You remember the story? We kids growing up, some people don't go to church anymore, but when you growing up, you learn about what Joseph did. Now, if he hadn't done that, the whole world would have started. You see what I'm saying? So, and I like taking stories like that for bringing that back. You got to start somewhere. I said today on the radio, you know, people don't have to go out and spend $500 on something, a bunch of food. You know, start with $10 here, 15 here. Next time you go, get 20. And I always copy buy. What I mean is can of Spam I like Spam. I know. I cut it up real thin. That's how I like it fried up. If America hadn't gave Britain Spam during World War II, that whole country probably would have starved to death. That's the history lesson on that. But anyway, but I know Spam last year was $2.39 a can. Now it's three something, $3.79. I'm like, are you serious? So things are going up. You guys heard Biden on the radio come up. I mean, on TV said it's going up. So get it now. And if those of you have been collecting, good deal. I said on the radio, I've got a wife, I've got 4 girls, 10 grandkids. It's my responsibility to take care of them. I got to feed them. And I'm not a big fan of roadkill, but you got to do what you got to do. Okay, so when you get that list, you'll see a list of food, the dehydrated food, Patriot Supplies. I think that was on advertised this morning. You can get the 72-hour pack. And it's got, oh, the wrong button. It's got, oh, there it is. It's got Granny's Homestyle Potato Soup, 4 of them. Traveler's Stew, 4 of them. Blue Ribbon Creamy Chicken Rice, 4 of them. Liberty Bell Potato Cheeto, Soup, 4 of them. So anyway, back years ago, I could buy this for $10. I don't know how high it is now. What's that? Are you serious? Anyway, and this will last you for 25, 30 years. So and I tell people to get that. MREs, Brian this morning mentioned it. MREs is good. They're a little bland, but it keeps you from starving. Okay. So when I tell people to get stuff, by the way, if anything ever happens, if we ever get, the grid goes down. Eat your frozen food first, stuff out of the freezer, that makes sense. And if it's cold outside, you can just stick it outside, but we got warm weather coming up and that'll be, you may want to eat that first. Always have a hand can opener. A lot of people forget that. They'll use, oh, I got a can opener. Oh, it's electric. Oh, shoot, I can't open the can. You know what I'm saying? So get your hand can opener. 1 is none, 2 is 1. Get 2 of them, all right? All right. Now, I'm going to show you some cool stuff. Is that okay? This is what I call an EDC, Everyday Carry. I carry this everywhere I go. Now, it has a lot on it because I'm usually with the grandkids or my girls are with me. I got extra for them. So it's like a merce, if you want to say that. Some of you is catching that, okay. But I keep this with me all the time. Everywhere I go, I take it with me. I go on vacation, I go to work, it's always with me. I'd rather have it, not need it, not have it. First thing I'm going to show you is this is a life straw. The life straw was the invention of the year back in 2005. I think a guy in France came up with it. But anyway, you pop that down, show you how, these are $20 unless they've gone up at Walmart. You get a lot of my stuff at Walmart and Myers. And anyway, say like you need water, you can stick it in a mud puddle. I'm serious. Stick it down and you just drink from it. And that's good for 264 gallons. That's $20. And I've seen some stuff on YouTube where people use these, some really nasty stuff they drink. I don't guess they died, but anyway, this is the stuff that it's called Life Straw, $20, okay? I have that with me. So I'm going to show you some goodies out of here. And again, the food thing, I know everybody, please get food, get water, and Band-Aids, beans, and bullets, what I always say. But the thing with 66%, I heard this the other day, of Americans are on medicine. And most of that comes from China. I don't need to go any farther with that. They're already having trouble. And getting that stuff in, about all the stuff that's out in the ocean, been waiting for months. It's a mess. But we get most of our stuff from China. So there used to be a rule, I think there still is, you can go to your doctor and ask them for emergency an extra 6 months, or I think it's 3 months, and they have to give it to you. and I done it. And they gave it to me. So I got to have a thyroid. I had thyroid surgery, so I got to have that thing. And if you can do how to do with the weeds or the natural stuff, do it. Learn that. Buy them books. They got books and stuff on YouTube. Thank God for YouTube. I know it's aggravating, but I get a lot of information off YouTube. So, okay. I want you to write something else down. See this C.H. Cadells? C.H. Cadells. K-A-D-E-L-S. You heard of it? Oh, have you? There you go. I get a lot of stuff out of these guys. Okay. All kinds of survival stuff. You can get gas masks if you're into that. And just all kinds of stuff you can get. And they're very reasonable. There's gas masks. Very reasonable. What's that? Yeah, it is. Yeah. And so it's a good company to get on. You can get online and get it. And you can, if it's stuff that, I need, we'll order it from them. I mean, I used to have a buddy of mine that had a survival store in Dayton, and he didn't go out of business. He just quit. He had a lot of wackos coming in, and his kids were there. So we're going to be dealing with a lot of different people. I'll put it that way. Okay. So if you want to get that magazine, look online, and you can get anything you want almost, and it's very reasonable. Okay. I carry this with me. This is, again, this is for Patriots supplies. No, this is for Patriots. It's my, I haven't charged this thing up in 6 months, and I can charge my phone into it. And I mean, I'd throw it on the dashboard. I need a charger, and it has different type of plug-ins for your phone. So anyway, they're like $40. You can get them on deal. You can buy a deal. Sometimes they'll say for $100 for 4 of them. But it's for Patriots. It's a solar charger. Okay, it's a neat thing to have. Let's see. It's like Christmas. Let me. Sparky. Bing. I love this thing. It's real compact. You can put it in your pocket. I got this at Myers. I paid $8 for it. And you want to start a fire? You see that, all the spark? And I'm telling you, it goes forever. And you can, so it's called Sparky. I gave one, all my grandkids have one, all my kids have one. I'd rather have it and not need it. All right. Let's see. And they got a little fire stuff like this that you can start a fire with. That Sparky will light one of these babies up. I'll show you another thing I got that, I mean, it could be pouring the rain. And I've practiced with it. By the way, people ask me all the time about bugging in and bugging out. How I hear that all the time, right? That's totally up to you. A lot of people, your home is your sanctuary. A lot of people, they don't have a place to go. They don't want to leave. They can't leave. Stay home. You know your home better than anybody else. And so I tell people, oh, you need to bug out. No, you can bug in. And every situation's different. If you want to stay home and take care of yourself, I tell my kids, put a tent in the living room, tent in the backyard, practice this stuff. You can read all the books you want, but when I worked at a paper mill, we had these guys that came in from, they got their pulp and paper degree from a college, and they come in and, well, according to this book, here's what we do when this happens. It didn't work. You got to have that experience. Try it. It won't take, a weekend. Take the weekend and just do stuff in your backyard and all that. All right. Let's see. I'm going to tear my little my everyday carry bag, see what we got in it. You ladies, where's they at? Where they at? Okay. Here they are, I think. You ladies wear the makeup, the little round things. Okay. Don't tell my wife I'm doing this, okay? Anyway, I dip this stuff. I'll get it and I'll dip these in wax. And I put them in a little, that will burn for like 10 minutes. if you need a fire starter or something, you just break it up, light it with a match, use old Sparky or whatever, and it works and it's very, very inexpensive. You don't have to spend a lot of money at all. Most of the stuff around the house, I got a list where we go, when I get time, I got a list of 15 things you may not even thought of that you have at home that you could use. Is everybody doing okay so far? Okay. I got to have my New Testament with the Proverbs and Psalms. You need that. When things get tough, you need the word. Okay. Water. Now, you got bottled water. We all know that, but this is a little plastic. This comes in a little bag. This is 4 ounce. And when the Coast Guard picks up people that's out in the ocean, has been there for a while, they give them, it's got a little bit of electrolytes in it, and it's very compact. That's what I like. And these little bags are tough. Okay, you can buy boxes of these. They're like, I don't know, 25 cents a piece. Okay, inexpensive. Another one. You just tear it open. See, it's got a place for tear. You just tear it open and drink it. You want to pour it in a cup, you can, but it's, yes, ma'am, it's water. So you may have to look it up. Patriot, there you go. Patriot Supplies has them. I got boxes and boxes of them. So, flashlight. You know, everybody's got a flashlight. Need a flashlight. What else do I got in here? Headlamp. 1 is none. 2 is 1. Now I like my hands free. You know what I'm saying? So I have this little thing here. This is what I cook soup in. And there's all kinds of stoves and stuff you could buy. If I'd have bought all my stuff in here, I'd have to have like 4 tables. So I got little rubber gloves, another lighter, Q-tips. By the way, you need to start a fire. Anyway. Yeah. Chapstick, same thing. So you're so gross. No, I'm not. So, okay. You got 10 grandkids, you know. I got them, the youngest one was born Christmas and the oldest one's 22. So first aid kit, inside my first aid kit, I usually add to it the emergency poncho, and I also have a little electric, those little emergency blankets. You all see, they're cheap. They're like $2. Get a bunch of them, okay? And they keep about 80% of your body in, okay? Body heat in. All right. I got a mess to clean up. Hello? Can you say spam? And I got these little packets with me, and they're great. It keeps you from starving, okay? I'm gonna get everything out. I got a tourniquet. I'm blessed. I've got 3 girls, 2 girls that are nurses, and I got a son-in-law, it's a nurse, and I got a nephew, it's a combat army medic. So it makes it nice when you have people that if they need to apply something, here, take care of this broken arm for me, okay? So, okay. Pam would tell you, my house don't look this bad, okay? I keep all my fire stuff in this. This is called a wet fire. Now that thing, I have lit it up. It pouring the rain. It lights right up, and that rain it will not go out. It's called wet fire. They come in big packages of 10, and they're very inexpensive, okay? We got another, how many lighters do I got? Well, I'll be another Sparky. Yeah, so and I've got Q-tips, always work good. It's just, y'all notice it's just simple stuff around the house. You don't have to, the food is what you gotta, you can't eat any of this. And people ask me all the time about defense, and you can't eat bullets. I mean, you gotta have it to protect your home. You know that, and we don't know what's coming down the pike, right? I tell people, get dogs. Get many dogs, the better, bigger, the better. They see better, they hear better, their instincts are better. And they'll fight to the death for you. That's just me. okay? My cat don't like them, but we won't go there. More water. Okay, I got this at Lowe's. This costs 20 bucks. Oh, a knife. Say hello to my little friend. What this is, you can go into, this cost me 20 bucks at Lowe's. It's double-edged, very sharp. And, you know, a lot of people like the hatchets and they're good, but you use a lot of energy, a lot of calories getting that. So I use this little saw. And I've had this thing for years, and that's a wonder. It's sharp as it can be. And of course, you can always use it as a weapon too. Okay. Is everybody enjoying this okay? You okay? Peanut butter? Okay. I will not starve, okay? I use this. I used to, back years ago, when times were different, I used to do a lot of trapping. My email is Coyote Man. And it's because farmers have called me up, man, they're wearing my chickens out, they're wearing my guineas out. Can you come and trap these coyotes? Sure. So the name, that's how, hey, you're Coyote Man. So I said, I use this, and I can use this to make snares with. Put that peanut butter on both sides. You want to eat squirrel? He'll walk right through it. And anyway, you get the picture, okay? All right. I got these little cards. In this little bag here, I like to put things in bags in case it does get wet. That is canvas. Got to have gum. After eating Spam, put in a piece of gum. A little fishing kit, okay? Hooks, sinkers. I think this thing's like $3, all right? And I love these cards here. I think you can get these cards out of that magazine I told you about. This is how to live, find a way. People get lost. I get lost, and you get me out in the woods, I'm great. I get lost, and I'm in New York City. I am in New York. I got lost as lost could be. I called a buddy of mine in Middletown. I said, LD, I'm in trouble. He goes, where you at? I said, I'm in New York. Now I'm going to go see the UN building. He goes, where you at? And I can't remember the names. I said, I'm like at the corner of 4th Street and 56th Avenue or something. He goes, okay. You go 4 blocks down, make a left. It'll be 2 blocks on your right. I mean, he taught me that in Middletown. So anyway, I do get lost in the cities. But this here teaches you how to build a fire, how to make a shelter. And it's really just neat stuff to have. And it's great for kids. Teach your kids, teach your grandkids stuff. All right. And speaking of the seed thing, I'll show you all that in a minute. I'm a big firm believer in canning. You know, that's sort of a dying art. And I don't want to say it is, but, you know, my mom and dad, they were from Kentucky and just came right out of Depression. Then people know how to can, you know, they know how to do that. Now, I always said if we ever got nuked, the only things that would live is rats, roaches, coyotes, and old people from Kentucky. This here's a thick garbage bag. You can use it for anything. I got 2 of them in here. Use it as a poncho. I've made them to make a little cover, like a lean-to type thing. Have that. Just something to have with you, okay? Now, I hope this works. I hope I don't embarrass myself on this. This is my heater and the stove. All you need is, hope this don't blow up, honey. Just kidding, it's alcohol, rubbing alcohol, okay? So you fill this little can up full of rubbing alcohol. This was $1.25 at, it used to be the dollar store, now it's $1.25, you know, it gone up like anything else. And you just fill this little thing up. What it is, it's toilet paper, okay? You take the core out of the toilet paper. And I should have put that in before I started. And you just keep, because that toilet paper, you take the cord out of it, smash that around, get it in, I don't know why I stuck it in that. The coffee cans, the little small ones, is great to use, okay? You put it in that and you just, I use a whole bottle on it. And I've got, I think a total of this particular toilet paper, they have a sale going on at CVS. You buy 8 of them. I end up getting, you buy one, get 2 big packets free. I think it ended up being 25 cents a roll of toilet paper. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna put all of it in there. I want to keep an eye on the time. Step back. So anyway, what I want to do is you let that soak, okay? And you want to light that match. And I'll show you what it does. What was that? Oh, that was me. Sorry. Okay, I'll let that soak a little bit. So if you need a quick little stove and you need a quick little stove or you want to heat, you imagine putting a brick on both sides of it and put like a fire extinguisher. I am not as smart as I look, okay? You'll figure that out in a minute, okay? So you can imagine having bricks on both sides, and there's your little grill. You can cook off of it. I mean, I don't have $5 in this thing, all right? Let's see. Let me just get out I don't want to get out Sparky. Where's my fire thing? Here it is. Oh, I got a lighter right here. Okay. The front row may want to clear out. I'm kidding. Okay. So if you need a quick little stove that you can cook with, heat with, and this baby will light. And that will light, and that'll stay burned, and it gets really hot and it gets high. Now, if you want to put rocks in it to keep that weight down, you can. All I gotta do is just put it out and it'll light up again. $5. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, you get that little grill. Remember what was it? The Hurricane Hugo or Ike, whatever his name was. You remember he came in, took out all the wind came in? My dad called me and Dad's like, son, I'm in trouble. I said, why? He goes, I need coffee. I said, okay. He said, we have no electric, we have no water. You know, if you have a EMP hits or your electric kicks out, you know, a lot of times your water won't work, you know, for a bit. So I went over there, me being me. Anybody like milk? Milk does a body good. I got this for $1.25 and it lasts till, it's good till August. And it's really good. You get that at the dollar store. I thought I had my little, anyway, I have a stove that I also have. I thought it was in there. It's probably down at the bottom. I bought probably too much, but that stuff will, so I went over there and fixed Dad oatmeal, fixed him a cheeseburger, made him coffee. He goes, I got to get me one of them. So anyway, again, there you go. And then a light, this has been, oh, maybe I'll put that on it. That will sit in your car for years. Just keep lighting it up. That's just an old metal can. Yes, ma'am. I like the coffee cans better. You know, what is it, 12 ounce, 13 ounce, something like that? They work great, okay? So anyway, the Mylar bags, I got this out, goes in a 5-gallon plastic bucket. Thank you. Hey, I went to Madison, okay? So anyway, you put and that's what I tell people. You put rice, sugar, flour, whatever, and you bend that over and you can get an iron and it'll be in that, it'll stay good for a long time, okay? I like the Mylar bags. They make them smaller too. And these are also made, you want to cut them up and you can iron that top to keep it sealed. I'll see what else. I never know what I'm going to come up with. Bleach, need to do your water. You'll have to look it up. Used to be, it's 1 drop per gallon or something. You don't want to overdo it. and you understand why. But you can buy the real little small bleach, like I think it's $1.25 for this. And they got it bigger than that. I mean, you got more. Honey is great for what else? That's $1 again at the dollar store. This is also, you can use this on wounds. You can heat it up. It's good as Band-Aids, I'm telling you. And if it's real close, you can lick yourself and no, I'm kidding. People ask me all the time, I'm sorry, honey. My wife said, you can't help yourself, can you? I'm like, no, I can't. I'm at a viewing, right? And it was Amish people. And I was giving our condolences. And so we come around the corner and there was these 3 Amish ladies, sweet as they could be. And the one lady says, you know, I said, I'm sorry to hear about Stanley. Yeah, he was my brother. He was a good guy. And the one lady just kept looking at me. I said, how you doing, ma'am? She goes, I know you from somewhere. And I said, I remember you. We were in jail together. And she's like, oh, you don't do that to Amish people, right? I turn around, my wife says, you just can't help yourself. But that was a good time. She still talks about that every once in a while. Books, I got so much stuff to go over. Books, and I got How to Survive in the World as We Know It. It's written by James Wesley Walls. He's ex-military intelligence. He's got a whole series of books, The Founders, The Expatriates, The Patriots. They're really, really, and it's a series. It's a novel written by a Christian guy. I don't think there's one cuss word in the whole series. And he talks about what's going and what's so crazy about it. He brought up in those books the pandemic and food shortages, and oh, it's just amazing. And I'm like, gosh, it's like he knew something, you know. But this CD, I like to listen to books on tape. And again, the guy's name is James Wesley Rawls, and he's my favorite writer when it comes to anything with end times or anything with, you know, prepping. I got a small, by the way, I got a big habit. I love going to estate sales. You know, you can go to estates. Okay, how much is an oil? How much is a quart of oil, guys? You buy a quart of oil. What is it? How much? Really? I'll buy them all day long for $1 at those estate sales. I'll buy a bunch of them. That's what you do. You try to save money. I do windows for a living and pressure washing. I've done that for 22 years. But you always try to have an edge, and the edge is save money, right? I ain't paying no $8 for a quart of oil when I go to the estate sale and buy it for $1. So, but I got this sewing kit. I paid $1 for this thing. All right, have that. It's always handy. I want to make sure I have enough time for questions. Okay. Ties. You always use these rubber bands and zip ties. I bought some stuff. I don't even know what's in it. Well, I found some seeds. The dollar stores, and I'm in the heirloom seeds. I think, you know, that's something I may need to talk to you about. But the heirloom seeds is really good. You year after year after year. Is that correct? Is that how the heirloom is? And candles, again, $1. Seeds. I couldn't believe you came and spoke. I said, oh yeah. You know, I get all, and these here were $4. A lot of them was heirloom, and you can just keep growing them and grow. Well, I'm glad I opened that up. Repair kit. That was $1 for your teeth, caps, or whatever. It's kind of stuff that people don't even think about. You know what I mean? Triple ointment. Have that soup. You got to brush your teeth, folks. $1 at the Dollar General store. Okay. Well, actually, this was at the dollar store. You get 6 for $1. All right. Gotta make some. You see what I'm saying? You can get there and get so much stuff. And I thought I was going to have to get a loan for all this stuff. And I think it all came to like $50. Lighters. What's in this? Kermex. I'm still looking through my stuff. I don't even know what I got in here. Oh, okay. Okay, I keep this stuff to put in, like, okay, this is lights, this is, and you have this stuff marked, so you know what it is. That's the right thing to do, right? So I'm like, okay, honey, remind me to mark this up, okay? Okay, well, and everything else is just all kinds of stuff. That list, please pick up a list because it covers everything. Stuff that, I had a list of 15 things you may not even think about. Hey, peanut butter and milk, man, does that sound good? Sorry, okay. If I can find that list. How many has done something at home, forced prepping, food, something? Oh, how many? Good. If you haven't started, please get. What? Keep it to yourself. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Hey, speaking of that, go to the estate sale and buy toilet paper cheap. That stuff, you know, okay. Learn stuff that you can, all you can. I got so much stuff here from, I got this stuff all mixed in with my regular classes that I teach. And what is the rule? 1 is none. 2 is 1, 3 is 2. I'd rather have it, not need it, not have it. Okay, if I can find that piece of paper that has the 15, I made this up too. The 15 things you need to have that you may not have, that you probably don't even think about it. Okay. All right. No, I got it. I had to think, I got home defense, silver and gold. Crypto, everybody knows about the crypto stuff, right? And Biden just came up with a thing about, he just made executive order on that, where you don't have the freedom you thought you did. You had Bitcoin and all that. They hit everything. They can't leave their hands off of nothing. Okay. So I'm a gold and silver guy. Can't afford gold, so I'll buy a little bit of silver. That's a good thing to have. People ask me about that all the time. Your defense at home, I'll throw this up real quick. It's up to you what you use. We're Americans here. We all believe in the Second Amendment, and you got to do what you got to do to protect your family. Hopefully it never come to that, but you gotta think about it. We live in different times, folks, don't we? I miss the 60s. I really do. And I know the 60s, I've seen the Kent State thing there. That was a 74? 70? Okay, sorry. Okay, but anyway, you know, they had bad times then, but today everything's just nuts. You know, they're talking about nukes. What's going on and what's going to happen? I don't know, you know. But I do know, I don't know how many of you are Christians, you got to have a prayer life. Lord, help me figure out what to do, and give me some ideas and stuff like that. I think he'll help you with that. I really do. I believe that. So keep your prayer life up, and I got 10 minutes. 15 minutes. Is there any questions?
Let's start right here.
Yeah.
Hi, Rick. Hi, Rick, it's Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn.
Can you share, I know in some of your longer classes, which you usually have, the things you have for the car, like the tea light with the Mylar blankets?
The tea candles?
The tea candles? Mhm.
The tea candles work good. You got these emergency candles?
No,
Get the
little tea lights.
the little guys?
The little tea lights.
Yeah, they're in here somewhere. Oh, I probably have in my bag. But yeah, you know what the tea lights are, don't you? They're great. And you can light them little babies up. And while that's good, you can put a little bit of, dry stick on it, and then another one that builds up. And that's how you build that up, and that'll burn forever, right? And they're inexpensive. I'm all about saving money, and you can, all the prepping you want, and you can do it cheap. But you need to start today if you hadn't already.
Oh, the reason I mentioned the tea light is you had mentioned to us in a class about the tea light having a Mylar bag blankets, that when you light the candle in your car, it'll also keep you warm. And if you're stuck in the snow or in an embankment, it's almost like an emergency light that they'll see the inside of your car.
That's true.
lit up.
That makes sense. You all heard that, right? And that's true, Marilyn. That's true. Any other questions?
I've got a quick question. So for those of us that are behind on this, and if we need to try to do it in stage, a couple steps, what's the very first thing?
Food and water,
And how much food?
as much as you can get, really.
Can you give me a benchmark?
Okay. Let's see. So how many's in your family?
Let's say if it's 4 people, a family of 4.
Okay. You want to get enough for start off for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. So you figure you eat, and we're working on trying to get it cut down twice a day, the emergency, not the kids. They eat 3 times a day, but 2 times a day. So you're talking a dozen cans of soup. Okay. And you build on that. Look at the date on the cans. People ask me about that. The date on the cans, Best Buy, for example, I thought I had what's this can of soup say? Okay, this can of soup says, what, 2014? Okay. This can of soup says January 20th, 2023. So this is good for a good year for the date, as long as it's not leaking, it ain't bent, and you can open that up and it has a strong bad smell, don't eat it. But you will probably lose a little bit of color, a little bit of flavor maybe, but it's perfectly fine. And I've done it on myself. That's why I got 3 years. I ate something, another ear popped up. But I ate peanut butter 3 years after the past date. I did. I tried it. I'm going to try it on myself, not my kids.
Here's a question right here.
Yes, ma'am.
I have 2 questions. I'm Karen. One of them was, I saw a YouTube video where she said that you could keep canned food almost indefinitely as long as it wasn't what you said, swollen or whatnot. She was Amish, and
One
she
of the
said,
Amish people are sharp.
she said that was, it was safe to eat. That
And
was,
you're right. And I would keep it, and 4 years down the road, 5, whatever, indefinitely. And you can, because now in a lot of these cans, they got this little sealant. It's like a plastic sealant. Next time you open up a can of soup, look in it, and you can see they have like a little sealant in there. That's just how they make them now, thank goodness. But yeah, you really can. I don't suggest that because I don't want to,
but if you're starving, you eat it.
yeah, you would.
My question is, when you go into Dollar Tree, they have these solar lights, that you can stick in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Are they any good? Would they be good to have a
I've
couple
not
of
used them,
those?
but I say they are. I think they are.
You can stretch your food out by doing alternating fasting, not more than 24 hours at a time, assuming that your health will allow it.
That's good. You're right.
I'm Bonnie, and I want to say, do you have in here to remind people to stock up on your pet food?
That was one of the 15 lists that I couldn't find to get. Yes, your pet food.
And you can eat pet food if you
you-
want.
You can.
Thank you.
You sure can. You're right. And it don't have to be the expensive stuff. You get hungry, your dog eat anything.
Rick, question. Are we allowed to put these papers that we handed out to everybody online? So
Yes,
that, okay.
yes.
So everybody online, we've had several questions. All the papers will be online tonight or tomorrow under tonight's class. And we've got a few questions in the back, Rick.
Yes.
We have a person online is wondering if you have any thoughts about generators in general types, gas versus solar, or any specific brands, or just any thoughts?
I
on
like,
that?
they got, okay, I have a gas generator. I can't afford a propane, which is a good one. What I say about the generators, if you can, pay the extra $100, $200 to get the quiet ones. Because if you get those loud ones, which is really nice to have, but you got a family, things get really bad. And they hear that generator going, oh, somebody's got food, somebody's got, you understand what I'm saying?
They are really loud too, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And
We've got one. It's super loud.
yeah, I got mine at Harbor Freight. Thank you, honey. It's a Harbor Freight and it's very quiet and it's good. I ain't had no trouble. I mean, I could have it running and I can talk to you like I am right now. And it's real small. And the generators are good, but please make sure you get your carbon dioxide monitor with it. Okay. I have a guy, I didn't know him. I knew the family. He was a highway patrolman and we had real bad winter and him and his wife turned on their generator without the carbon dioxide and they both passed away because of it. So
Another question in the back.
I don't know if this may be more of a comment or maybe asking for your opinion. They're wondering about a product called Aqua Tabs, water purification tablets.
Yes. They're great. They really are. Yeah, there's tablets you could buy. I mentioned there's the Sawyer, there's somebody won the Sawyer thing tonight. That's a big one. They got on little small ones. They're really good. They're like $30 at Walmart or Myers. And they got the Life Straw, but those tablets work really well. Make sure they wait 30 minutes before they start drinking water with it, but they work good.
Here's a question right here.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Barb. I
Hi,
was
Barb.
glancing over your list
Yes, ma'am.
and I did have to ask, you have tampons
Yes.
and for purposes.
Yes, that's terrible. That's one of my favorite things. Tampons is good for four purposes. What they're made for, you can filtrate water with them. You can start a fire with them. And God forbid there's an injury. My nephew's a combat army medic in the Army. They had it's got a name. It's like a M27, but it's a tampon on steroids, basically. And they stick that in them gunshot wounds, man. You understand what it does. So tampons are great. They really are. And I got to tell you a little story. My daughter was at, we're having a big family reunion and she left her purse at home and she goes, Dad, I can't believe these women. No, none of them has a tampon. You got a tampon. Tell me you got a tampon. I said, it's in the van, baby. It's in the van.
Here's a comment right here.
My name's Larry.
Hi, Larry.
And just a comment,
Yes, sir.
one of the better books to have is the old Boy Scout manual.
He's right.
First aid,
Yes, sir.
fires.
Yes, sir.
You name it.
Get those books and read them. Let your kids read them. Grandkids. You're right, Larry. You're right.
Are we still allowed to call them Boy Scout?
Ye- Oh, yeah.
Here's a comment.
I'm David, and I just wanted to add to your generator. I'm real familiar with those. I don't want to advertise Costco, but they carry a tri-fuel generator. And my experience is with the ethanol and gas, they usually have a steel gas tank and they corrode. So I looked for alternate things to where, when Hurricane Ike came through, I went through $80 worth of gas just for that week. It made me appreciate my Duke bill.
Mhm.
But having the three different fuels you can run that generator on, which would be natural gas, propane, or gasoline. So I just converted mine to propane because you don't have to worry about the gasoline going bad. The new gas only lasts like 30 days. Where propane, you got a sealed thing, you don't have to worry about spilling it and whatnot. So
Yeah.
you have three options instead of one when you have a tri-fuel
Yeah.
generator.
Yeah, those are nice. They're expensive, ain't they?
We had one on sale for $599 at 4,000 watts.
Okay.
$5.99
But,
for 4,000 watts.
They're right. Now, my gas I treat it. It's called Bill. Stay Bill. Thank you, Larry. Yes.
Got a question, another question right here.
Yes.
I noticed that you are using Clorox as a water purification
Yeah.
Have you considered iodine?
Yes,
Iodine, I believe, is still
yeah,
available.
I bought that at the store and I had it with me. I'm like, well, I'll bring it up. So you can use bleach, but iodine is great.
And that's
um,
roughly a drop per canteen.
Yeah, you can look it up. You can look it up online. By the way, speaking of iodine, to a serious note, they talk about Russia, about the nuke thing, that attacks your thyroid. And the iodine really helps with that. Yeah, potassium iodine. Thank you, Marilyn. And so if you can get some potassium iodine tablets, and maybe you never need it. I hope we never need it, but I'd rather have it, not need it, and need it, not have it.
Now, is that something, how often would you take one of those?
There's directions on it. I think it's been a while since I've looked.
Okay, here's another comment.
Somebody may know that question.
Yeah, I just happened to look it up again because of all the excitement that's going on over in Ukraine. But yes, the FDA has approved the potassium iodide tablets. You can look it up. There's like 4 different kinds of tablets that you can buy. I have purchased the Iostat tablet. I've bought mine through Amazon. They come in little blister packs. And you can get instructions from the FDA. They say it depends on your age, whether you need to cut the tablet or not. If you're over 50, you won't have to use a tablet at all unless things are really bad. They say they will give the instructions as to how often if you need to repeat it. It depends on how bad the radiation is. They say they'll give us instructions if we need to take it just once or if we will need to take it more often.
Yeah.
That depends on the situation.
That's true.
And everybody,
Yes,
I
sir.
want to introduce everyone to Michael Patton right here. For those of you who don't know him, he and I go way back together, and he's going to be teaching an incredible class on April 26th about the Cincinnati frontier. And it'll be great. Don't miss it. That's going to be a 2-hour class. So you're going to have to, his is the second part of it, but thank you, Michael. So Rick, question for you. A
Yes,
couple
sir.
people have mentioned your longer class. If somebody wants to drill down and take a longer one of your classes, where are those offered
Okay,
at?
Solid Rock Church, Touchdown Jesus. Okay, I'm doing one in May. It'll be on I think 3 Thursdays in a row. I'll get the date. How can I do that, honey? Just
If you give that to me, then I'll post information. Let me know how people can sign up. Go to the class, his class. Now, once the class is over, it goes to the bottom of the page. So just scroll down. There will be a link with all the information. We'll try to have that on whenever you can get it to me.
yes, sir.
Okay.
It'll be in May sometime. We're still working on a date. It will not be at the church. It'll be at what is it? Cafeteria, gymnasium. It'll be up. It's where the Sunday school classes are. I think Marilyn, you've been there. And it'll be upstairs or downstairs. I'll let you know about that. Also, alarms. Hang on. Okay, I got it off. I put these on my door alarms. You've seen how loud that is? And this is the battery's about dead in this one. And these babies are loud. Now, all that does, you can get that out of that magazine I told you about. They're like $8, okay? And I think Harbor Freight might have them. They did it once. Who? Aldi's will have them. Anyway, you put it, and what it is, well, I mean, it definitely, door opens. It stopped the door for one thing for opening up, it'll give you an alarm. I watched my mom be 90 in May, and I had a door frame. I mean, I had it under the door. My brother came in one night. He's thinking it was his night to stay. It was my night. And that alarm went off. Lord God Almighty. You see the look on his face, and we're all standing there. What, who? Oh, it's Larry. That's his name, Larry. Yeah, so anyway, there are some tablets I'm trying to find. You can get them. Pam, where did I get those at? Those little tablets. You get them wet and they open up. I love them things. They're camping supplies. They're little towels like this, okay? You wet them. It's great you can also start a fire with them. I am not what do they call them fire people? I am not one, I promise you. But you got to stay warm, you got to eat, so.
What do you guys say about our speaker tonight? Let's give it up for him. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you. Appreciate it.
So just a couple things I want to share with you before you leave. So somebody mentioned the Kent State Massacre. It happened 52 years ago on May the 4th. And this gentleman, Howard Means, will be with us that night. And he was able to uncover 125 hidden interviews from people who were interviewed right after the massacre. And he'll be sharing that with us. It's going to be an incredible night. I hope to see you there. A few things. Let's give this young lady, Leigh Ann, a round of applause. Now, I think it's okay that I can announce this, that we'll put Leigh Ann's email address on tonight's class also, so that if any of you run into any emergencies with pottings or any kind, like I have to cook dinner tomorrow night. Do you help with that too? Or but if you need any questions about anything, I know Leigh Ann would be willing to help you, and she's got quite a resource directory. So the documents that we handed out tonight, they will be online tomorrow for everybody online. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. And Rick will be in the back with some of his music that he's selling for $10.
Mhm.
And I would also say, Rick, that we're going to be doing a summer school session at Empower U. And we'd love to do your 3-week session here. We seat about 110. I don't know if that's big enough for you, but we'd love to do that at some point because I think it's such an important topic for everybody. So let's give Rick one more round of applause. Thank him.
Thank you.
And then I've got my announcement on the impromptu poll that we did regarding YouTube. And I sure do value YouTube because I use it for a lot of things when I don't know how to fix stuff, which is almost every time. But it's gotten difficult with censorship. So I can't say we're going to follow the results of the poll. I have to run that by the board. And we may, in fact, send out a note to our very big mailing list and let all those people who aren't here tonight vote too. But this group who was here tonight and the group online voted by a vote. So this is really a cancel culture, a real life lesson, voted 82 to 45, suggesting that Empower U should not list their classes on YouTube anymore. What do you guys think about that? Is that good? Thank you for those of you who participated. And tonight's class is just, it's what Empower U is all about. Don't you just feel more empowered talking about it, having your life more in your own control? So go out and just do great things and Empower U. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
You want me to? Me?